taget til Mumbai i Indien for at lave et feltarbejde om forandringerne i det traditionelle ægteskabsmønster. For bare 50 år siden var det helt utænkeligt, ja det var tabu, at en hindu kunne blive gift uden for sin religion eller bare sin stand. De, der alligevel gjorde det, ville næsten med sikkerhed blive udstødt af hele deres samfund. I dag er situationen helt anderledes. Man ser nu hinduer, der gifter sig ud af sin kulturelle baggrund, som for eksempel kaste eller stand, eller gifter sig helt ud af religionen. Man ser hinduer, der gifter sig med muslimer, jainister med buddhister, eller zarathustrianere med sikher. Ja, faktisk finder alle kombinationer af religionsblandede ægteskaber sted i dag. Men hvorfor denne store forandring i Mumbai de senere år? Det kunne være, fordi Mumbai er en stor by, der tilbyder arbejde til mange veluddannede, for eksempel i Bollywood-industrien. Her bliver folk hyret fra alle religiøse baggrunde. De mødes, de bliver kolleger, de bliver venner, og nogle ender så med at blive gift. Jeg tog også til Pune, 3 timers kørsel fra Mumbai, for at møde Nisha, der er universitetsuddannet engelsklærer. Hun er fra en brahminer-baggrund, det vil sige den højeste stand inden for hinduisme. For nylig giftede Nishas søn sig med en muslimsk pige. Jeg spurgte Nisha, hvordan hun som mor havde det med det.
My son was friends with a Muslim girl, and it took 7 years of courtship before they married. The delay was not because of the religion, but because they wanted to settle down within their job and they were studying together. It's very amazing that I was quite open about it. I said, okay, I like the girl. She's been in and out of my house for 7 years. But her family also knew us, knew me, visited me. But at the end of it all, they were very surprised when they were told that they are going to marry. They want to marry. So they said, we never thought this would happen. However, after the initial glitches, I mean, her father told her something, and it's very surprising that I had told my son exactly the same thing. We told our children that, you know, you've taken this step, this very difficult path of marrying into another religion. Now you have to cope with it, and it is for you to be very courageous and brave and, you know, face the whole thing together, because there will be problems. There will be problems all your life.
Så Nisha havde ikke noget imod, at svigerdatteren havde en anden religion.
I also had some guidelines for my son, but the guidelines were that she must be from a good family and she must be accepting the way we are. We are tolerant of all religions in my home, so she must be accepting of that. I wouldn't like this monotheism to creep into my home.
I Pune mødte jeg også Vanessa og Zubair, et par, der for over 10 år siden besluttede, at de ville stikke af sammen. Zubairs familie er moderate muslimer. Sekterisk set er de Bora-muslimer, som er shia-islam i Indien. Vanessa kommer fra en helt anden baggrund. Hendes far er hindu af øverste brahminerstand, og hendes mor er kristen-katolsk. Selvom Vanessas forældre selv har et religionsblandet ægteskab, har de været helt imod, at Vanessa giftede sig med en mand fra en anden religiøs baggrund. Jeg spurgte Vanessa, hvilken religion hun selv tilhører, nu hun er datter af en hindu og en kristen, og gift med en muslim. Hun svarede lynhurtigt, jeg tilhører menneskeheden. Deres historie begynder, da de sammen stikker af til Delhi for at blive gift. Selvom de begge er voksne mennesker i midten af 20'erne, opfører de sig og føler sig som tyve i natten. Som små uartige børn, der kaster skam på deres forældre, fordi de vil lege med hinanden. Zubairs forældre var heldigvis forstående. Ellers havde parret været helt uden et familienetværk. For Vanessa og hendes familie var der store konsekvenser. Det var Zubair, der vågede at foreslå, at de skulle stikke af sammen.
Just by the way, do you want to come back with me?
Yes, Mama, by the way.
Yes, by the way. And I said, of course, you know, like a Bollywood movie. And I said, oh wow, that looks very exciting.
Yes.
And at midnight, I just heard, you know, him honking. And I said, oh my God, he's come, so I have to go. So I was thinking whether I should do it or not. And just made up my mind. I picked up my purse and I walked out of the house with nothing except what I was wearing and maybe some stuff in my purse and hardly any money. And I jumped off my gate and said, let's run.
Vanessa vidste godt, at der ville være store konsekvenser ved at stikke af.
I was scared because I said if I call them and tell them that I run off with a Muslim boy, they would be shattered. So it was very difficult. So I told him I want to go back, but I knew I couldn't because I had done something and which couldn't be repaired, and it could never, because in Indian society it's like a big thing. You just cannot elope. I mean, the dignity of the family, and especially my father, because he was like a big shot in the army, and he knew so many people around. And imagine them looking for me the next day, because it had been almost 10 days since I had left my house and not even called them. So I realized I couldn't do it, especially because they would think that, how could a daughter do this,
Zubairs mor prøvede at hjælpe Vanessa, da Vanessas familie kom for at hente hende tilbage.
So I would like her to say what she wants to do in front of me and all of us, and whatever she decides, we will respect her decision. So I just told her, I said, no, I'm not going back. So she told my father, see, she's already given you her decision, so you cannot take her.
And your brother was down with me, and they, in fact, they threatened me. They said that we are Kashmiri Pandits and we will do anything to get our daughter back. And it was also very funny when your dad came, when I had called him. I had gone down in the morning to get bread and eggs. And when I came back, I saw one gentleman standing outside my house, and so I didn't know him, so I'd never seen him before. So I asked, I said, yes, how may I help you? So he's asking me, who are you? I said, bloody hell, somebody's asking me outside my own house, who am I? I said, who are you? I'm Vanessa's father. I said, oh. And then I said, oh, hello. I said, please come in, please come in. And I got him inside, and I was like, not shaved and in shorts and in a torn t-shirt.
Yeah, he was in a very, very bad state.
Because I just got up and I think I was repairing my bike the last night, so I had like all black marks on my hand and black t-shirt torn, and and he must be actually thinking that who has my daughter got married to? Who is this guy? And it was very funny. And then they came inside and they stayed here for an entire week. And it's not at our house, they were staying in a hotel, but they were trying to keep a tab on her, and that's when he tried to get her out from the convocation ceremony, but luckily we...
My parents have not yet accepted. My mother has, but she does not have any say over it. She has already come here and been there with me when Mikhail was born. She's seen him and she's seen I'm happy here. So in a way it's given her a lot of contentment. She hadn't seen me for 10 years and she wasn't sure what was going on in my life. But my father says that it will never happen again what we were, and that I'm out of the family. So of course I do miss them, my own parents, but it's not really, it's been years. Earlier I used to get really frustrated and stressed out and cry the whole day, but now I don't think so. I mean, I'm kind of quite, I've adapted to it and I'm perfectly fine with them, not accepting me, so I'm okay.
Her er et andet par med den samme religionsblandede kombination som Vanessa og Zubair, Purnima og Hussain. Hussain er også fra en boer-muslimsk baggrund, og Purnima er hindu. Men her skulle Purnima konvertere til islam for at blive gift med Hussain. For tiden bor parret hos Purnimas forældre i Mumbai. Parret mødtes gennem et internetægteskabsforum og har nu været gift i 2 år.
Well, I was the one who initiated it. Even though I come from a Muslim background, I am not very religious as a person. And when I decided to get on the matrimonial site, I ended up contacting women from all religious backgrounds, whoever I felt set or were a part of the profile that matched my needs or matched whatever I felt was right for me. And I contacted everybody.
Men hvordan reagerede Hussains familie på, at han ville giftes med en hindu-kvinde?
I simply told my mother and my sister because more than my mother, my sister is the one who makes the decisions for my mother. And I told them both very clearly that whatever they thought of Purnima, I was still going to be getting married to her. And I would just want them to meet her. And my mother is known to be a very broad-minded person because even though Purnima comes from a Hindu background and we are Muslims, my mother has proposed to Hindu men or Hindu boys for my sister in the past. So I knew one thing, that for me it wasn't going to be anything to do with religion, as much as it was going to do something to do with her caste or her class or her family standing of where she came from more than anything else. It was nothing to do with religion from my side. I knew that. I was very confident about that, and I was looking at seeing how my mother was going to take that more than anything else. So when my mother first met Purnima, she saw her, and I guess it just didn't stand up to what she was looking for. And we sat down for breakfast, and she made this comment where she told Purnima that I have brought up my daughter in such a manner that if the guy that she loves wants to get married to her, and she likes the guy as well, but if the parents of the guy do not approve of her, my daughter will back out of the marriage, and she will tell the boy that I'm not getting married to you because your parents are not approving of me. So that's the kind of training I have given my daughter, and that's what it is all about. And it gave a very clear hint as what she was trying to tell Purnima, that if your parents have given you that good a training, then I am not approving of you, so you should be the one backing down more than anything else. And that's where I could sense that, oh my God, this is going to be trouble from the beginning itself. So yeah, that's how it went from the very beginning.
På trods af tilbageholdenhed i Hussains familie gik parret videre med deres bryllupsplaner. Men da Purnimas far er hindu, må han ikke deltage i en del af den muslimske bryllupsceremoni.
And my father could not be, he could not be the father of the bride in the real sense of the word, because it had to be a Muslim who had to give his daughter away to the son-in-law. So one of Hussein's uncles, his aunt's husband, he posed as my father, so he is technically my godfather, so to say.
I feel extremely lucky to have in-laws as kind and as generous as Purnima's parents. They have been extremely supportive and very caring. They have been like my second parents. My mother and my sister have been supportive as well, but not as supportive as I would want them to be at times. My mother has this tendency of getting influenced a lot by what others tell her, and there are times when others will tell her things and she gets carried away by what they tell, and it affects her behavior towards us. But otherwise she is supportive. She's pretty supportive as well.
Også Purnimas forældre var af deres hindu-samfund presset til at tænke over de konsekvenser, der kunne være, hvis deres datter giftede sig muslimsk.
Which family would want to get married to a girl whose elder sister actually married a Muslim boy, and so forth. So this was not a direct problem, but a perceived problem in my parents' heads. So actually it goes to say that it actually shows you that how the people who you love the most are also bogged down by societal pressures and all that, and they have imaginary problems which are not there. And today my brother-in-law and his family, they love Hussain like he would be one of a Hindu or anything like that. I mean, they don't really even think about Hussain like a Hindu or a Muslim or anything like that. They have accepted Hussain like a guy who is my husband.
Purnima skal nu opgive sin hindu-identitet ved brylluppet.
One of the prerequisites of the Muslim marriage, the nikah, was that I get converted to Islam, because only a Muslim can marry a Muslim. So I had to do it because Hussein wanted his mother, as in Hussein's mother wanted me to, wanted us to get married the Muslim way, and it was a prerequisite, as I said. And that somewhere has not left a very good feeling. I'm not vindictive against anyone or anything like that, but it feels like a part of your body has been cut out and is being replaced with a new one, and you're not quite sure whether you're liking it or not. And there's a part of my gang who call me by my maiden name, Purnima, and there's this another set of people who insist on calling me by my Muslim name, which is Umayma. So yeah, so it's somewhere. It's a little wonky in the head, although I don't think about it all the time, day and night, but yeah, it's somewhere there. I had to actually sign on a piece of paper which said that I, so-and-so, daughter of so-and-so, willfully is changing her religion to this, from this, and will no longer be called this, and will be a Muslim from now on. So yeah, that was difficult. I remember I was sitting in the car and I cried a lot about it. And it actually dawned on me that time that yes, I have to let go of this name by which the world knows me now actually. It was sad.
Rushita og Steve bor i Syd-Mumbai og har været gift i 5 år. Steve er fra en romersk-katolsk familie, og Rushita er hindu.
When I broke this news to my father that I, a Roman Catholic person getting married to a Hindu girl, he had no problems, whether with her religion, her sect, her socio-economic background. He just said, I hope both of you will gel together and have a happy married life. And after a few seconds, in fact, he laughed and said, I'm relieved you're getting married to a woman. That's what really matters.
For Rushitas far var det ikke lige så enkelt at acceptere, at hans datter skulle giftes med en katolik, som det var for Steves familie at acceptere, at Steves kommende hustru var hindu.
When I saw my father's reaction, I was devastated because I'm very close to him. In fact, he's the most important person in my life, even today. I love him the most, and everybody knows that. But I decided to go ahead with my decision of getting married to Steve because I had taken the decision and I knew he's the right person, and I knew eventually my father will come around because I know he loves me a lot too and he'll be happy for me. I knew it's a matter of time, I just didn't know how much time. And I was a bit wrong in that. I mean, I thought it will be just a few weeks or months, but of course my father was more stubborn than I thought, and he was very upset, more than I thought, and it took about 2 to 3 years, but eventually we got there. It was very painful, those 2 to 3 years, trying to contact him and not getting any response. But anyway, now it seems like a long way off because the good times are something we always remember more than the bad times, So now things are fine. I mean, thank God, we really work towards it. Things are good now.
Concerning my family relationship with me and my wife as a couple, I see no problems because there's a very broad-minded approach, and what matters is how our married life is progressing. I mean, from terms of financially, socially, and our own relationship, and that's what matters to my parents and nothing else. Though probably at the back of their mind, I really don't know whether they would have preferred someone from the same religion, but they never ever make it known.
Steve and me have done something very unusual and interesting which I would like to share with you people. We've been, of course, I'm a Hindu and he's a Catholic, Roman Catholic, and we got married. Now it's been 5 years, but we've got married thrice so far in 5 years. I mean, it's a big joke now with his friends. They all tell him, my God, you're getting married thrice, at least change the woman, what has happened is our first marriage was a registered marriage in the court. That was our real marriage with just a few friends and his parents, and actually even my mother couldn't make it because she lived in another city at that time. Then a year later, he surprised me on our first anniversary with the Hindu rituals because he always knew that's something I always wanted, like any girl would want. And there my mother was present and we did a little larger thing. We called many more friends, many more relatives. I really dressed up like a bride and all that. Then, but my father wasn't there, and after that he accepted, a year later. Then now, a month back, as I wanted to tell you all, on our 5th wedding anniversary, we got remarried just for my father to give his blessing. So 3 times in 5 years.
The 6th one will be underwater, scuba dive.
Vi er nu i det nordvestlige Mumbai, hvor vi besøger Parvin og Rupa. Parvin er som Steve fra en romersk-katolsk baggrund, og Rupa, hun er fra en hindu-baggrund, hvor de lægger vægt på guden Shiva.
My family background. I come from a very orthodox Kerala Iyer background. So Iyers are Shaivites. We are Shaivites. We have a relatively orthodox community who is very high on education. So the Iyer community is orthodox, but it's also very high on education. So you have a lot of scientists and software programmers and chartered accountants and all. They settled all around the world, but they're still very grounded in religion. So they're largely vegetarian. We follow all the rituals, all the customs, the whole 9 yards.
When the time came that me and Rupa when we decided to get married, for me it was just a matter of telling my mom and dad, you know what, Rupa wants to meet you guys, so go meet her. And we're going to get married whenever she says we're going to go. So they looked at me and said, what? And they said, okay. And they went and met her. And I guess when they came back, I figured out what date they decided. So that's how it happened.
Rupas familie kunne derimod ikke acceptere, at hun ville giftes med en kristen. De ville heller ikke deltage i brylluppet.
In my house, of course, it was not so easy. It was far more complicated. My maternal family refused to attend my wedding, and they didn't speak to me for almost a year after that because they're still very grounded. And I was the first grandchild, and I was marrying outside. I'm the oldest grandchild, and I was marrying outside the community, outside the caste, and outside the religion.
I think you were the last person they expected to.
Yeah, I was supposed
not
to be the
follow
one. Yes.
Convention.
Like I said, I belong to a very orthodox Hindu community. So when we have, I'm a good cook, and for the bigger family pujas and festivals, I cook for the family, but not anymore. So my grandmother doesn't drink water that I boil. So because I've married outside the community, so there is that grudge to stay. So I'm not allowed to cook for any of the family functions.
I think of late, whenever we get a chance to meet, when I get a chance to meet your family, they are kind of increasingly cordial and liking me even better.
Yeah, they like him. They always like him, and
because I'm a good person.
Yeah, because you're a good guy. But they wish he wasn't Catholic. So it's still there. They wouldn't like me to make the offerings to the gods, temples. They wouldn't want me to touch it. So that's.
But you're Buddhist now, so that doesn't matter to you.
I'm still their niece and granddaughter, right? So that doesn't change. So.
Parvins katolske familie havde intet imod, at han ville giftes med en braminer-hindu-kvinde.
It was never in my mind that I needed to ask anybody except my parents. I did not really ask. I actually told them, this is you've been seeing us going around, and you've probably met this person, Rupa, once or so, and you got to go meet her because she's insisting on meeting you guys. I guess because her father needs to be assured that this is what's really happening. And I told them one day, just go, and they left in the morning. I didn't go. I wanted to, but she didn't let me, so we went there. And they went and met Rupa's parents and Rupa, and I guess my dad asked her, so are you sure this is the guy you want to get married to? My son? And she said, yeah. So okay, so he was happy with that. So at least it's not his responsibility anymore. And Couple of hours later they come back, and that's when I know, okay, this is the date that we're going to get married. I said, fine, good job. That's all the discussion I ever had. 2 sentences to get married outside of my community.
Både Rupa og Pavin beskæftiger sig med og praktiserer i dag Vipassana buddhisme.
Really, India has such a variety of religions and each has such a deep meaning. I think that should stay. And it's for the next generation, it's for the future generations to kind of preserve that without bringing in the friction. And they can do it, it's not impossible.